Hi, and welcome to this special video on people who using Microsoft Agent Framework Toolkit. So my NuGet package on top. This is a special thing because of a bug that I just want to inform you about before you upgrade. The bug is on Microsoft side, but I'm trying to do my best to get around it. So let me explain. The .NET version of Agent Framework is now out in RC1, Release Candidate 1. And Microsoft have finally done a good thing in that they have taken the structured output part and put it on AI agents. Because in the past, you couldn't have an AI agent and then run async. That is now possible, and that's really, really good. I had some code in that could do this using an extension method. So when I saw this, I was really, really happy. But unfortunately, there is a bug with their implementation. They have put it in. They have also supported lists and simple objects, which I also support. But if you put in middleware on this AI agent, now this will fail. This is due to a bug. They need to fix that, and I'm pretty sure they will at some point. So this only affects us in a certain way with Agent Framework. I can work around it in all cases but one, and that's why we have this video. Because if we have a look at a small sample here where we use, let me start over here. If we use the factory, and in this case it's just the Azure OpenAI factory, and we make an agent which has the normal tool calling middleware, and we make it an Azure OpenAI agent, then we don't have a problem. In the same manner, we can make the same agent, but we can cast it down to an AI agent, meaning Microsoft's version of all this. This will also not have a problem. But if we cast it to AI agents and use tool calling middleware equal to what we saw in the issue I've created to Microsoft, that's where we have the problem. And the problem is, if we say, the question is, what's 2 plus 2? If we use the Azure OpenAI agent and just say run async for a mat result back, we get the right result back, meaning 4 in this case, and we can get it back as our result object. If we do the same with an AI agent without tool calling, it also works. We get exactly the same result back, and it can be passed on to an object. But if we do it with an AI agent and raw tool calling, then what happens is it's not failing here, but the answer back will just be normal text and not the JSON structure we need. And that results in we can't get our result back as an object because it's not JSON. There's two ways around this. So first of all, I fixed it inside Azure OpenAI agent and so on by using my old code that was actually planning to get rid of the extension method because now Agent Framework can do it itself. But because that is also called run async, when we do it like this, we can see that we hit Microsoft AI agent and not the extension method that I made. The extension method is here, but you can't really hit it because it has the same signature as the one Microsoft have. And I didn't want to get rid of it because then you would need to write your code in different ways in other scenarios. So what you can do if you have this special need, there's two options. Of course, you can just stay here, then there's no problem. If you need to go to AI agents, you can go in and use my extension method in the old-fashioned way of using extension methods, going in Agent Framework Toolkit, AI agents.run async, and then send in your agent instead. This will work, and it will give you back the right information. Or perhaps an even easier version is my Azure AI agent here, as we see, is a inheritance of something I'll call agents, which is then an inheritance of AI agent. So that's a middle step between Azure agent and AI agent. And that one doesn't have the problem either, because that can hit the correct extension method. So that would also be a way of just quickly on the fly casting your AI agent to my generic version agent, and then you can get your data back. So perhaps too much alarm bells here for me, but I just wanted to be extra sure that you know that if you're using Agent Framework, it's not like I'm trying to break this. It's actually Microsoft who have broken it themselves. And the second Microsoft fixes their problem, of course, I will release a new version, and then I will take away the extension method, because then this is not written correct anymore. You can also see they are marked as obsolete, so they will go away. But the main point here is I'm not trying to limit the compatibility with the agent framework. I'm just trying to do what's right now, because Microsoft have messed up their own system by not building it the correct way like I have here. I've given them this code so they can fix their problem. But beyond that, if you just use the system and you just keep them like this, don't worry, we are ready to go. Of course, there's the other two changes that have happened. AI context providers is now an enumerable, so you can send in multiple. So you need to put them in brackets before you can run with your provider. And the providers in general have breaking changes, but that has nothing to do with Agent Framework. And the other one is the chat history provider, who has also gotten a new implementation. Beyond that, everything else is like normal. So if you don't use context providers, chat history, or cast to an AI agent, you should just be able to upgrade without any problems at all, and no breaking changes from my side. But that's everything for this session. Hope it makes more sense why it is like it is, and I see it only as a temporary thing that we need to do these two workarounds in those two special scenarios. Thank you.